What if I told you, when you die, that it's no different in any way than waking up in the morning from a dream that felt so real that you could taste it, you could feel the textures of that dream, so real that you question reality. It's just the way it is. We're all just a glitch in the matrix. Indeed. Everything is but a stone. Nothing makes sense. Because what is real? Do you and I define what is real? I don't know. Perhaps then, reality is simply our decision. What we decide that we have seen. What we decide is real, and what we decide is not real. That's the thing, isn't it? It's a decision. They say reality is subjective. But how can that be so if there are objective truths? How can this be? Objective truths are not always what they seem. Sometimes objectivity is itself the scam. I don't know. What I'm getting at, the reason I'm acting so weird, is because I want you to know that the things you look at, the things you see in your daily life, they're real. But their existence is different than you may expect. Do you know what I mean? Watch. This is bark, but is it any different than the leaf? Just because it's bark? Or is this any different than the ground we walk on? Just because they are separate things? You say that simply because something is different than something else, that it is not that thing. I say, one thing is everything. And how is this possible? Well, if you think in order of things, everything, at some point, must have had a starting point. Or at least that's the way we view it from our lives, because we have a starting point. So perhaps there is no starting point, and that is yet another one of those things. But if we go based on the way that we think, and there is a start of things, everything must have at some point come from the same source. We can imagine an atom, even though there are many things smaller than atoms. But we'll use this as an example to hold our mind on to this idea. Imagine the atom was the very first thing in existence. Perhaps its nucleus, or even just a simple electron, was the first thing in existence. Something, even though there were no other things, had to happen in order to catalyze this event to split or become more things. And those more things have slight mutations based on their purebred singleness. And those mutations benefit or detriment each other. And this deciduous act created everything. And if that's the case, that means everything then is at least some form of the original thing. Now I know it's much more complicated than this in real life. I know, it's fine. I'm just trying to simplify it, to help you understand that this, right here, and this, and this, and this, and these, even my hair here, my hair, it's not so different from the leaves. My decoration, yes? So when you're looking at life, and you're creating separations in it, what you're doing is then bastardizing your relationship to everything. And if you follow this thought train far enough, you realize, how on earth could we possibly do harm to another person or to another thing if that very thing is indeed us? We're harming ourselves. That doesn't sound like a very safe way to thrive and to live, by harming one's own self. It doesn't make sense. I am this, and you are that. So then what are we? Perhaps we're but trees. Perhaps we're but everything. If this video teeters upon the line of nonsensical rambling, well, I would encourage you that it is so. It is nonsensical rambling. I'm wishing to introspect and philosophize about the world as I live in it. It's raining. I'm alive. I'm well as a mentally ill guy can get. And I want to help you to understand. And maybe I'll post this video because this other video helps very much. It's called Small Blue Dot. And it's done by a man called Carl Sagan. That pale blue dot has everyone who has ever existed. Businessmen, corrupt politicians, athletes, lovers. That entire world and everything you have ever known and ever seen exists in this one round ball. That's how he talks. So, I'm just trying to help people to understand that even though this place is gigantic, it is very small. We are one thing, one people, one love. Cheesy as that is. But it's true. And I hope you can go out into this world and bring it just a little bit closer. Because one day, you and I are going to be nothing more than this. Just a tuft of grass. Old dead things remade. So, if life is giving you trouble, remember, it's fine. I love you, and we're all one thing. And I'm coming to take care of it, to help us. I love you, and as always, be still.